All right, so today we are going to go over some topics. So right here, this is for your vocabulary. You should be remembering this and copying it if you need to. Let's go ahead and do these questions. What are the points we would use for this question? So I just want to get the points. I don't even care about doing the question, but if I was going to do it, my important word would be slope. Sorry. Slope. My pencil's messing up. Slope. And if I've been using this vocab sheet, I should know that slope is right here. So slope means m. So when I look at the points, I want to look at my x and then my y. My x and then my y. So I have my x value, then I have my y value. For my first point right here, my x value is going to be -4. My y value is going to be 7. That's my first point. Now my next one is 4 for my x, and then my y is 1. Then you would put these in Desmos, but right now we're only practicing getting the points because it's a little difficult for everybody. So next question, it says, what is the slope of the linear function? I know the important word is slope, and I know that means m. Now, if I look at this line, I'm looking at where it makes a perfect point. Like right here, this one is on the corner. It goes to -6 and it goes to -6. That's perfect. Right here, this is a perfect point. It goes to -2, it goes to -4. Those are perfect. Okay, but if I put a point here, it doesn't have a number here. There's no number. I don't know what it is, so that's not perfect. So again, we're going to get our x value first, and then we are going to work on our y value. So we have x, and then we have y. If I look at this first point right here that I said, I'm going to look at my x, which is -6, and then my y is also -6. Now, if I go to the next perfect point I said right here, my x value is -2, my y is -4. And then you would put that in Desmos and go the same thing. We're not going to do the last one just because we already did 2. The learning goal for today is use algebraic properties to provide the explicit formula for arithmetics. No, this is not it. Just kidding. We're going to be working on x-intercepts and y-intercepts. So a function is either a line or linear. It's a function on a graph. So x-intercept is on the x-axis, okay? And x-intercept is always going to be your x value, and then 0. 0 always in the second spot. So other words that mean x-intercept are 0, root, and solution. Those mean x-intercept. So if I'm looking at the x-intercept, this line right here, I touch the line at -5. So when we look at it, we're touching this line at -5. So my x-intercept is going to be, if I write it, it's always going to be x0. And this is going to be, my x is going to be 5, 0. That's my answer, 5, 0. Now, if we look at the y-intercept, it's always on the y-axis, which is going to be this axis right here. I have 0, y. So other words that mean y-intercept are initial value and starting value. If you see these words, they mean y-intercept. So when I look here, I see I touch -5. If I'm looking at my y-intercept, I'm going to write it as 0, y. So I have 0, -5, and that's my final answer right there. Okay. Now, some may not have an x-intercept. So looking at this one, we have the x-axis right here, and I have my function right here. This has no x-intercept. No x-intercept. Does not touch x-axis. Now my next one, if I'm looking at this one, my y-axis, my line does not touch the y-axis. So no y-intercept. Does not touch y-axis. Okay? So let's go ahead and give these questions a try. So we're going to skip some of this. Let's go ahead and go to our notes. It should look like this paper. For the rest of the day, I'm going to use yellow to highlight the x-axis, and I'm going to use green to highlight the y-axis, okay? So again, it says how to write an intercept. If we're writing an x-intercept, it's going to be your x, comma, your number. If I'm writing the y-intercept, it's going to be 0, comma, your y. So you have x and 0, then you have 0 and y, okay? Now, other words that represent x-intercept and y-intercept. We already kind of went over this. So you have 0 means x, comma, 0. Then you have solution, which is x, comma, 0. And then you have root, which is x, comma, 0. Other words that mean y-intercept are initial value, which is 0, comma, y, and starting value, 0, comma, y. Okay, that is the front side of the notes. So if we were doing this right here, my x-intercept would be x, comma, 0. So if I'm looking at my x-axis, I touch at -2. So it would be -2, 0. Now, if I do my y-intercept, right here, my y-intercept is always going to be 0, comma, y, so 0, comma, 2. Okay, that's all we're learning today is this right here. So right here, just real quick, this isn't on your notes, this is just on the board. I want you to try putting this on your whiteboard and see if you can get the correct answer. What is the x-intercept? So my x-intercept would be on the x-axis right here, and it would be touching right here at 9. So 9, comma, 0 would be my answer. Now right here it says y-intercept. So I'm going to pause and try to do this. So y-intercept is going to be on my y-axis, and it's going to be right here, 0, comma, 3. So 0y, because it's our y-intercept. Now, for this one, my x-axis is right here, and my line is right here. There is no x-intercept here. They do not touch, so no x-intercept. Okay? But if I was asking about the y-intercept, if I'm looking at the y-axis, and it's 0y, I have 4 right here. 0, 4. Now for this one, you have x-intercept, x-axis, and we touch in this middle point, which is, so we have x, 0, and my x value is going to be 0. So my answer would be 0, 0. The x-intercept is at the origin. Now if I'm talking about y-intercept, on my y-axis, again, we touch right here in the middle, so my y-intercept is always going to be 0, y, and right here I touch the 0, so my y-intercept would also be 0, 0. Now, let's go and talk about these real quick. It says, John said the x-intercept for this function is -7, 0. Is John correct or incorrect? Why or why not? I want you to look at this graph and determine, is -7, 0 my x-intercept? If we look at this right here, we know my x-intercept is always going to be x, comma, 0. So right here, I'm looking at where this line touches this line. Not where it touches the numbers, but the lines intersect. So right here, they would intersect right here, and that number is -6. So my answer should be parenthesis, -6, comma, 0, parenthesis. That means John is incorrect. So my answer should have been -6, 0, not this. So let's go and try this one. It says, Mark said the x-intercept for this function is 9, 0. Is Mark correct? Yes or no? If we look at this, we're looking at the x-intercept. And if we look over here, we're looking at where the x-axis touches this line. And they touch right here at 9. So I know x-intercept is x, comma, 0, and I know my x value is 9, comma, 0. So Mark is correct. Let's try one more. Tina said the y-intercept for this function is 0, 6. Is Tina correct or incorrect? If I'm looking at the y-intercept, I'm looking at the line that goes up and down, the y-axis. And I know that I'm looking at where this y-axis and my actual line touch, so right here, and that is 7. And my y-intercept is 0, comma, y, and my y number is 7. So Tina is wrong. So let's go and try the actual notes. So it says, linear function t has an x-intercept of -1 and a y-intercept of 5. Which graph best represents t? So I have x-intercept of -1, so I'm going to highlight that. And I'm going to highlight the x-axis with my marker, okay? Now the next part says y-intercept of 5. Y-intercept of 5, y-intercept of 5, y-intercept of 5, y-intercept of 5. So when I'm doing this, I'm going to start with the x-intercept of -1. That means I should be touching here at -1, -1, -1, -1. The only two answers that can be my answer are B and D because they both touch -1 on the x-axis, not C or A. Now if I look at +5, B touches -5, so this wouldn't be good. So I want to touch +5. So D would be my correct answer. We're looking for these two numbers. This one on the x-axis, this one on the y-axis. Okay? Now let's try one more. It says, which line appears to have an x-intercept of -5 and a y-intercept of 3? So when I do this one, I want an x-intercept of -5. So even if we did this backwards, like we didn't write them down, so this is -3, 0, this is 5, 0, this is -5, 0, and this is 3, 0. The only one that touches -5, 0 would be C. This one's wrong, and this one's wrong. Now if I look at y-intercept of 3, it also has a y-intercept at 3, so this is good. C would be my answer. For the next one, the graph of the function is shown on the grid. Which ordered pair best represents the location of the x-intercept? So my important word is x-intercept. I know that x-intercept is always x, comma, 0. I need my 0 second. I always need a 0 in that second spot. Right here, we have a 5. That's not good. Right here, we have a 5. That's not good. Right here, we have a 0. That's good. Right here, we have a -5. That's not good. Now, even if I didn't know that, I could have looked here on the x-axis, and I touched -3. So it should have been -3, 0. So my only answer would be C. Now, for the next one, it says, the graph of a function is shown on the grid. Which ordered pair best represents the location of the y-intercept? So my important word is y-intercept, y-intercept. And I know when I'm dealing with the y-intercept, it's always 0, comma, y. I want 0 first. I have 0, 2.5, this isn't good. 0, this is okay, this is okay. And then D has 2.5, that's also not good. So I'm between A and B, or A and C, A and C. My apologies. If I look at the graph, I see on my Y line, we touch -5. So my answer should be 0, comma, -5. So my answer should be C. Let's try one more. The graph of a function is shown on the grid. I have my graph. Which ordered pair best represents the location of the y-intercept? So again, y-intercept is my important word. I'm looking at the line that goes up and down. Now, I know that for my y-intercept, I need to write 0, comma, y. So I'm looking for an answer that has 0 first. This is -8, so that's bad. This is -3, so that's bad. This is -6, so that's bad. This is 0, so that's good. They put these points here just to confuse you. So I know I'm touching -9, so my answer should have been 0, -9. So D would have been my answer. And that's it. Okay. We're going to do one more page of notes from standard form, x and y intercepts from standard form. Standard form is going to be ax plus by equals c. So when x and y are on the same side, this is what you do. To find the x-intercept, you do, so for the x-intercept, it's going to be C over A, and then for the y-intercept, it's going to be C over B. So, for my first one, I have AX plus BY equals C. So my A equals 2, my B equals 3, my C equals 12. And since I'm looking for x-intercept, I know it's C over A, which equals 12 over 2. 12 over 2, which equals 6. If you put this in your calculator, you'll get 6. So I know A can't be good, C can't be good. Now I'm between B and D, but I know you write an x-intercept as x comma 0. So I know that D can't be good. So my answer would be B. Now here it says y-intercept. I know I write my y-intercept as 0 comma y. If I know that, we need to check the x values. Oh, they're all 0. Just kidding. Okay. So next one, ax plus by equals c. So my a equals 4, my b equals -2, my c equals 8. So y-intercept is c over b. C over b. So I have c over b, and that equals my c is 8. So 8 over -2. And if you put this in your calculator, you get -4. So my answer should be 0 comma -4. The only answer with -4 is B. Okay. Here we have to find the x-intercept first to match the graph. Okay, so I know I have ax plus by equals c, and I know my x-intercept is c over a, so c over a. My a value is 4, my b value is -2, and my c value is 8. So we have 8 over 4, which equals 2. So my x-intercept is 2 comma 0, and the only one that has 2 comma 0 is B. And that's how you would do those. We will, in the future, teach you another way to do these questions if this is a lot for you, so don't stress about this right now. The main focus of today is this right here, okay? So go ahead and glue this into your notebook if you have a notebook, or start the independent practice and make sure to show your work on your paper. Have a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe. Goodbye.